Just as electioneering is heating up in the entire country, including Jammu and Kashmir, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has renewed hopes of withdrawal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act in Jammu and Kashmir. This has been a contentious issue in the state-turned union territories over the years. What the Union Home Minister said to a Jammu and Kashmir-based news channel in an interview is that the government, the central government, is open to considering as far as demands for withdrawal of AFSPA is concerned. Why is AFSPA contentious? Because this act, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, gives the Indian Army and the Indian Armed Forces the power to search, to raid, to arrest and carry out operations, including shoot to kill if they find during an operation that is the requirement, and they under AFSPA are protected from prosecution. If AFSPA is withdrawn, it would mean that Jammu and Kashmir, like many parts of the northeast, would leave behind a violent past. So what is really the history of AFSPA? Back in the 1990s, when Jammu and Kashmir was seeing repeated terror attacks, terrorism was at its peak, an army was pressed into service to ensure law and order. The AFSPA was brought in. It was renewed 10 years later, and subsequently at repeated intervals the entire valley area specifically was declared a disturbed area, and AFSPA was repeatedly renewed there. Then Chief Minister Omar Abdullah repeatedly demanded of the central government that AFSPA be withdrawn. If you recall, when UPA was in power, a 3-member interlocutor team was sent to the valley. It had former journalist Dilip Padgaonkar, it had Radha Kumar, and it had the former information commissioner. They came back with a report in which they suggested a lot of confidence-building measures for Jammu and Kashmir, and one of the confidence-building measures was also related to the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Then Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram actually said later that he regretted the way the UPA government handled the recommendation of the interlocutors. He felt that AFSPA, if not repealed completely, should at least be amended, but that never happened. Now the Bharatiya Janata Party government in the centre, after 2 terms and after revocation of Article 370, is giving fresh hopes to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. What the Home Minister essentially is saying is that AFSPA withdrawal can be considered because the number of terror incidents in the valley specifically has gone down. As per data provided by the Home Minister, 70% decrease in the number of terror incidents has been recorded in the last couple of years. From 2019 up until now is the data that is being shared. On the ground also, anecdotal evidence seems to suggest that the incidents of major terror attack, stone pelting, which required army and paramilitary's presence, definitely has gone down. Yes, there are targeted killings that have happened. Small arm fire has been used by terror groups, but those big terror incidents have definitely gone down, giving perhaps the central government and the LG, because Jammu and Kashmir is now a union territory, the local administration perhaps is gaining confidence that Jammu and Kashmir police can now be entrusted with maintenance of law and order in the valley. Army and the paramilitary's presence could be limited. But I have to caution that it's easier said than done. Multiple level of negotiations, consultations will be required, because valley, after all, is a sensitive area. It's a border area. Pakistan is always trying to look for opportunities to create trouble there. And there's also an experience to be learned from Rajouri and Poonch. There was serious thinking into 2023 that perhaps army should be withdrawn from Rajouri and Poonch, which was seeing relative peace at that point. But then it erupted from the New Year's. We have seen of New Year's of 2023, we have seen that there have been multiple incidents of terror attacks in Rajouri and Poonch, and army para forces have been forced to take the center stage there. So that's why the decision to withdraw AFSPA in Jammu and Kashmir has to be a well thought out one. But like I said, ahead of elections, this issue, which is very close to the heart of people in the valley specifically, it has got a renewed debating point, and Home Minister has given hopes of AFSPA possible withdrawal from Jammu and Kashmir.